Alrighty. Welcome back to Kamen Rider Review, episode 95. Yes, this is the last time we'll be discussing Kamen Rider Super 1, discussing the last 4 episodes of the series, episodes 45 to 48. Yeah, these are the last 4 because here's the thing. I'm going to do another video of this probably a little bit later, probably after my anime stuff. It's going to be discussing the TV special, which came about a few years after this one, which had a debut of the 10th ever Kamen Rider. I will be discussing that. And before I discuss the episodes themselves, you're probably all asking, Nick, so you just finished Super 1. What Kamen Rider series can you do next? Agato. Yep, the second one of the Heisei. I'm doing that one next. And when I finish with that one, I'm going to go back to the shore to cap it off. Yeah. There's no getting around it. Basically, Black will be the next one, obviously, after Agato. Excuse me. In these 4 episodes in particular, 45 features the last officially created monster for the series. Yes, where in the episode, we kind of start to see Marshall Devil's frustration with the generals, where they can't defeat one guy. So, basically, the last monster of the episodes, is sent to do one thing and one thing only. Well, destroy the Kamen Rider. Yep, that's simply the reason for it. And his name is Sugging, and he's a fire extinguisher. Yep. And, well, sadly, this will be the final monster ever created, because there will be other monsters, yes, per se, but none after this one. Nope. Yeah, and after he's defeated, there are no more monsters. Yeah, for the last few episodes of the series, it's basically the Kamen Rider versus basically the 5 generals and Marshall Devil. The first one, basically in 46, where he takes on Princess Yoki and Commander Jack-O-Lantern. They're the first ones to go. Well, probably because Jack-O-Lantern, probably because he finished his last monster last episode. In the case of Princess Yuki, she had her last monster a while. I think it was just in episode 44, I think it was. Yes. So, I guess they figured out, hey, basically these two finish their monsters up and they have nothing else to do. So we have Princess Yuki posing as a doll, and by the way, her true form is Satan Doll, which is simply her with vampire fangs. Yeah, but at least Jack-O-Lantern looks interesting. He looks very threatening. Though eventually, by the end of the episode, they're both defeated. And Dr. Ghost volunteers himself to be the very next person to fight Kamen Rider. And nearly going to 47, we're revealed several different things for this episode. Number 1, basically, we see General Commander Ghost, Dr. Ghost's true form, which is Golden Ghost. Princess Yoki, of course, like I mentioned, is the Satan doll. For Commander Jack-O-Lantern, it's Osambi. Yes. A man with a scythe who's looks not much different from his regular form anyways. Satan Doll is simply just Princess Yoki with a different attire and different mask. Golden Ghost is pretty much on the same way. He's got the same hands as Dr. Ghost. The whole thing with this one's like trickery, and it's a pretty interesting episode. There's also a bit of an epidemic in this one involving the golden virus, which of course this is where Hinome finds out that Kazuya is in fact Super 1. After he's cured, he does admit to her that he is Kamen Rider. Cho basically kind of thought so from pretty much when they met him. She had no idea this episode. And she's like, it can't be true because she's obviously in love with him. And I think it's implied Kazuya does know, but he doesn't say anything about it. So then, of course, he deals with Dr. Ghost. And, well, that's the episode for that one. Now, during the episode, we were basically revealed 3 things. Number 1, the Space Development Bureau has been reactivated. First time it's been brought up since episode 2. Yep, it has been rebuilt and is basically inside of a mountain. And they've also completed their rocket, which is simply put a space shuttle, the Jupiter Super 1. Yeah, that's simply what it is. It's a space shuttle. So, and of course, now Junagwa does not want to destroy it per se. They want to use it to launch bombs on the planet. So we see Marshall Devil's true form. It's basically a snake monster. Yeah, his true form is Satan Snake. for staff powers, of which is Maricona, which I kind of admit, basically, I like the body. It makes it look very beautiful. The face itself is a bit to be desired. I mean, look at Satan Snake himself. Mostly put, he just basically replaced top half of a martial demon's body with basically snakes. Oh yeah, and by the way, he also has a freaking sword. Mm-hmm. And guess how and guess how the first episode was defeated? With a sword. Yeah, she's defeated with her boss's sword. And he's defeated basically being sliced all his heads off. And then, of course, basically, like, he gets fully defeated. And, of course, well, and then for some strange reason, the Jin Dagami base explodes, which this is interesting. Now, you might find this interesting, though, that this is the first one we don't have Kamen Rider to go into the main base at the end. This actually is the first time I've seen this. In all the Kamen Rider series that I've seen so far of the Showa era, this is the first one they did not do it for. I think like Cho basically was the only one who actually went there, but so we see Kazuya in a military uniform. He says goodbye to everybody. I'm surprised he's going to give me a kiss, despite the fact he knows that she's in love with him. Of course, he gives her a nod. He hops in the space shuttle, goes out of space, and it's not seen again until the special that came 3 years later. As in the case of the rest of the cast, this is the last time we ever see them. Well, except for his army, where we see her in the Kamen Rider Spirits manga, and also the G-Rayer squad. But yeah, Taitani, he's done. Yeah, he was just here for Sky Raider in this one, and that was it. Yeah, Black, I'm not sure if he's going to have a mentor. I'll get to him. Now, I'm basically going to say this now. I'm going to do Black as soon as I do Agato. Yes. But in the case of my final thoughts on Kamen Rider Super 1. I did enjoy watching this series. I'd say in the case two of organization they had, I'd say Jin Dog was a little more interesting in the terms of the generals. Because they have 4. Which is interesting because they've done this before in one series. They've actually had 4 generals, but not at the same time. Unless, of course, they revive the dead general like it did in V3, but usually have one at a time. And in the case of Dogma, the original organization, they just have one general in the Empire plus some guards. And that's it. Now, he, of course, was very interesting. He's also the first general to have a mustache. Yes. These 4 are quite interesting. And the fact that it's so obvious these 4 are, like, it's revealed in the final episode that Jin Dogma are aliens. From where? The Dark Nebula. Which you're thinking, that sounds very familiar. Isn't that where the great leader of Neo Chakra's from? Yes, it is. So, is it possible that he's related to this? Who knows? Well, maybe we'll find out with the TV special. But in the case of the series, the main Kamen Rider, I think he's really good. It is sad that in the last decade the guy has become a freaking scumbag for basically stealing from his own fans. Tani basically is a good he's a good mentor. Hinara basically is a good character too. Chono basically, I do like the fact that they dropped it after early on when we kept getting freaking captured. Now, the Junior Rider Squad is interesting. He brought this concept back. First time since V3. It's been like at that point like a decade. So I think it was a good period to bring it back. Though it's a smaller version of the organization. Though they kind of were trying to expand it with having a member be American. I think the other girl was pretty much useless. And in some way, I kind of wish they would do a little more with her martial arts. Because in one episode, she randomly knows martial arts. And here, she just completely forgets she knows how to use it. Yeah. And also, so they basically have Katsuya having a master, when we tell him the Shaolin Fist, and a bodyguard. And the final episode of the Dogma arc, they get killed off just so they can advance him. Which I'm like, really? Yeah, really. I kind of dumb. Which makes them the first characters who basically, in their last appearance, they would just disappear by the next episode. They're freaking killed off, which makes them probably the first supporting characters killed off in this series. Yes, definitely. I do like it, the fact they actually have a movie. It's a shame they never had episodes where in the main series itself where Super One teamed up with the Kamen Riders. I kind of wish they would have, but they didn't. Now, I was a bit hesitant to get this one because there was the only team we had where was Kamen Riders was in the movie, and the team was like 5 minutes anyway, so it was a good scene of them fighting a bunch of revived dead monsters. That was fine. It was so obvious that was going to be the place where they show up, and it is something though that. And here's the strange thing though about all those 8 actors. Only one of them managed to reprise their role. Only one managed to come back. Everyone else was stand-ins, and that was V3. He's the only one who came back because if you're Stronger's voice, not the same guy. Not even Skyrider, which is shocking, given the fact he would just. Yeah, were these actors simply not available? Who knows? Yep. So I'm gonna do a TV special next. After watching my 2 anime, and then after that I'm gonna watch. Well, after watch TV special. Next tokusatsu I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna break afterwards, will be Turbo Ranger. Yes, one I really want to get to the past several years, and now I'm finally got to it. Yep, that'll be the absolute next thing tokusatsu wise to watch after the TV special. Okay, next video. Bye.